What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Looking at another KBO slate for Wednesday, 5-game slate starting at 5:30. As always, yesterday good day on Fanduel, cash and everything. Draftkings made out in double ups over a 100 over there. Fanduel scored about a 104, so good start to the week. It was a pretty low scoring slate. Obviously, it's a lot of low, not many home runs, a lot of low scores for each team. Hopefully, I think today will be much higher scoring. But looking at who we have pitching, we have some pretty bad pitchers pitching today, so expect to see the runs go up tonight. So let's get started with the video. Appreciate if you hit the like down below and subscribe if you have not already. Um, Starting off here at pitcher, J. Hack Lee is your most expensive pitcher. If you want to look at the pitchers so far this year, this is the statistics. Despaigne has been the best. Ki Young Im has been good, but don't know how much we can buy into that because he was pretty bad the last 2 years before this. Maybe he's made some improvements, but I still think that you need a much bigger sample size than 16 innings, and those were against. We did face off against a tough team in Doosan, but he faced it Lodi and Samsung too. Not great offenses, so I think today will be a tough test for him. But Despaigne is the guy that I like a lot, and J. Hack Lee's your most expensive guy. I don't think he deserves to be the most expensive. He's okay, and the matchup is pretty scary. So personally, I think that Despaigne is the guy that I like the most, and definitely don't want to play Moon against DOO. Moon has pretty big home run issues, which can be exploited by this Doosan offense. This year he's given up 2 home runs already. Last year he gave up 23, as you see, gives up tons of power. And this year he's given up a lot of runs too. Last year was able to get away with it, but this year so far he has not been as lucky. So definitely Doosan looking like a very nice stack today. But Despaigne looking very good, and then it's a pretty slim pickings at pitcher. I think you could take a shot on J. Hack Lee is in play just because there's not many options. Personally, don't want to play Moon against Doosan. Don't want to play Han against the Dinos. You would be in play if he had any sort of ability to strike hitters out. Just 5 strikeouts in 15 innings. That's not going to get the job done. I think I probably would rather take a shot on like a pitcher facing a bad offense who's cheap, and that's Che Hong Jung here, 6,500 for the Twins. The Twins have a decent offense. I think they will probably win the game if Jung can go like 6, 7 innings and the bullpen doesn't blow it. Then he should be in line for the win, hopefully. But he's 6,500 facing a very bad offense in the Eagles. They have the least home runs across the league, and this is a much easier matchup for him than he's had. He's faced off against 2 very tough offenses in his first 2 starts, Doosan and KIW. So it's a much easier matchup for him to get back on track and potentially pick up his first win of the year. So Despaigne and Jung are the 2 guys I like the most. And then for stacking today, I think the KT Wiz look very good. I like the Twins. Doosan probably the top on the board. Maybe the Lodi Giants also look fine. And then the Dinos are the teams I like to stack the most. Favorites are the Dinos, Doosan, and probably KT Wiz. Although the Twins are in play, but I really just like 1 or 2 hitters, so not really for stacking. Once again, we're going to start off with a guy, Ramos, 3,800. His price tag is still not there. It's getting up there a little bit just compared to where it was, but 3,800 for a guy with all the power that he possesses is not high enough. It's a very good spot against the Eagles pitcher who has struggled so far this year and in the past. Next up at second base, going to be paying out for Jose Fernandez. That's also the benefit of going cheap with your SP2. You have plenty of salary to pay up for a guy like Fernandez, who is one of the best hitters in the league. 480, 4 bombs. Had a bad game yesterday. I think you can get it back on track. It's a very, very good spot against a homer-prone pitcher. And I think Fernandez can do some serious damage today. If we want to look at the statistics for the Doosan side and the pitcher that they're facing, as I mentioned, he gave up a bunch of home runs last year. And for the Twins side, for Ramos facing off against Jang, 5+ ERA. Each of the last 2 years in 2018 also was pretty bad. So definitely think that the Twins look very good today. So got Ramos and Fernandez as the 2 guys I like, first base and second base. Next up, if we head over to the outfield, really looking at for the stacks that I mentioned, the Wiz stack, the Twins, Doosan, Lodi, and the Dinos. I like Sung Bum Na, who is just 4,400. Really good hitter, really good spot for them against another pretty poor pitcher who struggled this year. Yeah, 4,400 is too cheap for the ability that he possesses. The fact that he is cheaper than Altair also is pretty continues to surprise me just because Altair had a good game yesterday, but Sung Bum Na is higher in the order and overall makes better contact. And then last but not least, I will probably pay up for Jaewon Kim, 5,600. Uh, the problem with him has been like strikeouts recently. He's been striking out a ton, multiple strikeouts in 3 out of 4. But he has a ton of power, and he also missed a couple games or maybe a one game with an injury. So if this is a spot for him to get back on track against a homer-prone pitcher, and we know him and Fernandez have like the most power on the team. So for FanDuel purposes today, pitcher, I know exactly. I'm going with Despaigne. I think he's the best play on the slate. $23, too cheap for him. Infielder, I like Fernandez for sure. $18. In the outfield, I Sung Bum Na once again looks pretty good today on FanDuel at $14. You could also play Altair. Draftkings and FanDuel are completely different. Altair is just $9 here on FanDuel if you need some savings, but personally, I still like Sung Bum Na at his price point. And then we can go with like for the stacks I mentioned, with KT Wiz and the Dinos and the Deucin side. On the Deucin side, if you need a cheap hitter, we could play him in the infielder at util. But I do think that you could look at like J1O at just $7. He's been hitting fifth in the lineup with the injuries to the other first baseman, also J.O. So he's been hitting fifth right behind some very, very good hitters. If you want to take a look at the lineup that they've been rolling out recently, I think he's in a good spot today to potentially rack up some RBIs. You got Fernandez, Choi, who's $11 on FanDuel. I think you could play him, or you could take the $4 savings and play O, who also has power. Yesterday he had 4 strikeouts. Yikes. But besides that, as you see, last year only played under 100 games, struggled. That was like an anomaly. But year before that, 15 home runs, batted 463 slugging. So far this year, 590 slugging through the first 18 games. So not the best, but definitely can get the job done at just $7 on FanDuel. So those are the cores that I like for both sites as of now. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck today.